Hello friends, welcome to my channel. So today in my channel you will be learning conjugations in French. Last video we learned about être and its conjugation, right? But for now we'll be learning the groups of conjugation. Like I'll show you. Now the first group we'll be learning is RE. Okay? Now this is an verb's ending. I'll just give you an example and then you will understand it properly. A-T-T-E-N-D-R-E. Attendre. Okay? Now, this means to wait. Okay? Now, the ending of attendre is RE, right? That is what we call it as RE verbs. Okay? So while we are conjugating these RE verbs, we remove the RE and then we conjugate. So I'll just give you examples of such verbs. Now we'll go with vendre. This is RE, right? We remove this RE and we conjugate with VEND. Now vendre means to sell. Okay, to sell. Now, other one is entendre. I'll just give you 3 examples and then after that we will go to the next group. Okay. Now, here also we are ending with RE, right? Now, the meaning for this is to hear. Okay, to hear something. So now E and T, E and D. Now this is what we're going to conjugate with, right? We're done with RE verbs. Now what I come to say is we remove RE and then we conjugate. This is what is known as RE verbs. Now let's move on to ER verbs. So here we go. So the first example is parler. Okay? Parler. Now ending is ER. Now the meaning for this is to speak. Okay. Now we're removing ER and we are adding the endings. Now the next example is aimer. ER is the ending. Aimer means to like. Yeah. Now we are removing ER and we are adding endings for AIM. That's all. Now the next one is adore. Okay. Now the ending is ER. Now what does adore means? To adore. Yeah. This word is really simple. The same in English, right? Now we are removing this ER and we are adding the endings of ADOR. Okay. So yeah, we're done with ER. Now let's move on to IR verbs. So here we go with IR verbs. Now the first verb is partir. Partir. Okay. Now what does partir mean? To live. To leave. Okay. Now the ending is IR. So what we do? We remove the IR verb, then we just add endings. PART and endings. Okay. Now the next verb is sortir. Okay. Sortir. Sortir means to get out. To get out of this place. Yeah. That's how it is. Now the ending is IR. Now we're just removing this IR, then we conjugate it with the endings of IR verbs. Now the last one is finir. Okay, here the ending is IR, right? We just remove this IR and we conjugate it with FIN. The meaning is to finish. Yeah. Now we're done with all 3 groups. Now there is just one group which is irregular. Okay, now let's see what it is. Okay, so here we go. Irregular. Now, irregular verb, the first verb we learned, right? Être. Now, I've told you that it ends with re, but it is an irregular verb. Okay, now être means to be. Okay, next, avoir. Avoir. Now this ends with ir, but we won't conjugate it like ir verbs. Okay, like there's one thing which I have to tell you. Like re verbs, the verbs ending with re has different set of conjugations. Okay, the endings are different, and for ir verbs there are different endings, and for er verbs we have different endings. We'll learn it in further videos, but these verbs are not following those endings. Like for re verbs, I told you attendre, like it won't follow that conjugation. That is what I'm telling you. Now the same thing applies with avoir also. Okay, ir verbs, this doesn't belong to ir verb, and this is irregular. So what is avoir? To have. Yeah. So now after avoir we have fair. Fair. One minute. Fair. Okay. Now re, right? But it doesn't end with all those endings which re have. Now, what is fair? To make. To make. Now, this is known as irregular, and we learned about re verbs, ir verbs, er verbs, and all these verbs have different endings, and that is what I wanted to tell you through this video. And let's meet in our next video. Thank you.